are going to be on this, and Peter will be there as well. Representative Jim Jordan is a Republican of Ohio. He intends to vote no on the bill. He's been with Scoreboard before. We liked him so much, we invited him back, and he was generous enough to agree. He joins us now from the Capitol. Good to see you, Congressman.
Good to be with you, David.
Again, I want to focus on this thing, not too heavily, but a car czar. I mean, the idea that whenever I hear the word czar, I think of a dictator who's telling the public what he thinks we should be doing. I don't like that. Do you?
I don't either. David, 20 years ago, I had the opportunity to travel to the Soviet Union. I was there with an athletic team. And I remember those Soviet square little matchbox type cars that they had. That's what you get when you have central planning.
The Ladas. I think they were called Ladas, by the way.
They were terrible. Yeah. They were terrible. And this whole concept that we're now going to have the federal government, the same federal government that has given us the $10 trillion national debt that's helped create the mess that we're in our economy, is now going to tell the automakers how to run their business. That's a scary thought, and yet that's exactly where this bill goes. And you pointed out at the top of the hour, the very day that the Treasury Department announced today that we ran a record deficit in November, $164 billion deficit in 1 month, record deficit, is the same day we're also going to give more money, continue this bailout fever that's gripped Washington, give more money to the auto industries, and have central planning along with it. This is a terrible deal for the taxpayers. That's why I'm opposed to it, even though I have strong manufacturing and auto manufacturing.
Ohio, there are a lot of auto jobs in Ohio. But here's another thing I don't like about it: Chrysler. Chrysler is owned by a very well-connected, very private equity firm that's got a lot of cash. We don't know how much because it's private. It doesn't have to come out with regular numbers. And we are going to be bailing out a bunch of rich folks who own a car company. What's that all about?
Well, David, you point to the fundamental. There's several reasons why you don't go down this road. Because once you start down this road, it's tough to turn around. We've seen that. Bear Stearns, AIG, Fannie, Freddie, Citigroup. Who knows who's getting in line next. Second reason is it doesn't work. We've seen that over the last year with the $700 billion bailout, the fact that the intent of the program has been changed 3 different times. Third reason, and I alluded to it earlier, is this is immoral. This is wrong to take our kids' and grandkids' future and mortgage it the way we are. I mean, so there are fundamental reasons you don't do this, and then the one you point out, it's not fair. It's not fair to the small business owner out there who may be going through the same tough times.
Well, and Congressman, it exemplifies the kind of insider stuff that goes on inside the Beltway that infuriates the folks out there for very good reason. Cerberus, by the way, the CEO of Cerberus is John Snow. If the name rings a bell, it's because he was Treasury Secretary not long ago. Their lobbyists include Dan Quayle, the former Vice President of the U.S., Senator John Breaux, a former senator from Louisiana, former senator of Louisiana, David Hobbs, and other lobbyists who are very familiar to folks inside the Beltway. They've got a lot of pull inside the Beltway because of their board, and that's why they may be getting a bailout, even though they're rich folks.
Yeah. And the American people hate that kind of operation from the government. I mean, we've just seen this week. Of course, it's been running all on your station and all the other stations, the news of what happens when you have these special deals with the Illinois governor. You don't want this special cronyism, capitalism that's going on. Certainly don't want that to continue.
All right. Congressman, I know you've got to go to a vote, one that we've been talking about quite a bit. We know how you're going to vote. We appreciate you coming. Maybe you'll be able to come back and tell us what happens afterwards, would you?
Love to do that. Thanks, David.
Congressman Jim Jordan, good to see you. Well, many businesses